Welcome to the Dr. Erin Show. May you live your truth. Good morning from Los Angeles. We come together each morning to know the truth, live on spiritual principle, and align with universal law. So today I want to talk to you about Rich Dad, Poor Mom. So there's a very famous book, I'm sure you've heard of it, called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And it's a great analogy of growing up. This gentleman, Kiyosaki, had one dad that was poor, his traditional dad. He considered him poor just because he was in the rat race of life. And his other dad, his rich dad, was actually his stepdad, and he was a real estate mogul and actually taught him about leveraging, about compounding his money, and about buying assets and having passive income. So today I want to talk to you actually about a different situation, and yet has the similar principles, yet spiritual principles. So this weekend, I was up at a family reunion in Ojai, California, and it was my dad's side of the family, and it was beautiful, gorgeous, gorgeous weekend. We had two lovely events under the stars at these beautiful homes. They were catered, and Saturday day, we came together, which we do every single year, because my great-great-great-grandfather set up a nonprofit organization that basically is in the stock market, and we give away funds. We give away between $200,000 and $400,000 each year, and we each get a set amount of money that we get to give away. And the point is that it's ironic, because my childhood, I grew up very poor. My mom was what I would consider poor. We went to the thrift store for our clothes. We did not eat anything special. In fact, it was a very special occasion if we got ice cream. And quite frankly, we didn't have everything that we needed, but we did have an extraordinary life filled with many friends and truly a wealthy life in that regard. But the reality is that I had a rich dad and a poor mom. My mom, we literally drove like an old Honda beat up little two-door, and I think it had like one of the hubcaps missing from one of the wheels, and was banged up on one side. My dad would come and grab us once a year because he had a separate life, and he would roll up in a Mercedes, and we would go down to his family's beach house and have an extraordinary time. And I remember as a little girl making a very clear decision, and it was that I wanted to have money when I grew up. And I realize now, looking back at it, it wasn't so much that it was the material thing or the beach house or the Mercedes, although that was very nice and beautiful to be in. But what it really was, and what it came down to, is that my mom, and please kudos to my mom, because my mom has turned into an extraordinary woman. She is the most loving, amazing woman now, and she lives a great life. She has plenty of money. In fact, she's a millionaire and does very well. But at the point in time growing up, it was quite chaotic. She hadn't quite found herself, and there was a lot of kind of dysfunctional people around us and a lot of chaos. And when I went to my dad's side of the family, it wasn't perfect by any means. In fact, it was not spiritual. But what there was harmony, and there was order. I remember when I would visit my grandmother, every day in the morning, we'd wake up, and she first thing would say, "You can't come in to get breakfast until you bring your underwear and your dirty clothes from yesterday and put them in the laundry." And every day there was such order. There was order when we woke up, when we ate breakfast, when we ate lunch, everything we did. And I remember really, really liking that. And at night, we would all sit down for dinner, specifically, all together with fully set, fully beautiful, with flowers and all. And the point is is that the first order of heaven, order is the first principle of heaven. Order is the first principle of heaven. And in order to really truly have wealth, have money, have assets, have passive income, have all these things, you need to have order. So hence back to this weekend, here my great grandfather set up this fund, because at that point in time they had a lot of money. And he knew that there was order. He was able to bring the family together once a year and instill the principles of philanthropy, instill the principles of giving your time, treasure, and talent to the world in service. And he was an extraordinary man. Granted, a lot of that side of the family also has alcoholism and miscellaneous things. So the point is that Rich dad, poor mom doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean that you are guaranteed to be fulfilled if you're rich, and it doesn't mean you're guaranteed to be miserable if you're poor. However, the law of the universe is clear. Harmony creates fulfillment. Harmony is one of the first things we have to have peace within. Harmony with the food that we put in our body. Harmony with what we do with our money. And so I know today is a day to reflect, to decide what works for you. What is your unique truth? Because through working with clients and doing subconscious work and doing masterminds, the primary work that I do is really to birth people's truth. You know, when we get our limiting beliefs out of the way, when we heal our trauma, when we stop the judgment on the self and accept life on life's terms and not have expectations, we begin to realize what works for us. And so my invitation to you today is to figure out what is true for you. What is true for you in the realm of, do you want to be rich? Do you want to be poor? Do you want to have passive income? Do you want to have assets? Do you want to have a business that you own? Do you want to create a family? Do you want, what level of health do you want? Because when you decide and you birth your truth, then you just simply commit to that and you let everything else go. You don't have to make it wrong anymore. You don't have to point the finger. You don't have to do any of that. You literally just get to choose who you are. And so in that today, we align every day with the universal law. And today I chose the law of harmony, which I do quite frequently because I think it's one of the most important laws. You know, there's the law of cause and effect, which is the overall, you know, all the laws combined pretty much of how we manifest, how we work. But the law of harmony is so important because there's a divine order to this universe. To the extent that you create harmony is the extent to which you will experience your free will, your wealth, your health, loving relationships. There is a standard we have created that demands that we must create in harmony to be unbound. We must create in harmony to be unbound. The universe is constantly guiding you towards a harmonious life. Through freedom of choice, you can arrange things in such a way as to set a motion of series of causation that will harmonize in your own conditions without antagonizing the like powers of others. So today's spiritual practice is to organize, systemize, and prioritize. And today's challenge is to set your goals for the week. Set your goals for the week. We're here to create and basically put energy upon universal law, create it into demonstrations, into manifestations. And if you don't set your goal, then it's just going to go wherever. And that's fine. You can have the experience of just experiencing life and going with the flow. That's fine. But if you do want specific things, if you do want organization, if you do want systems, if you do want prioritize, if you don't want to have to pay your bills all day, every month, go get them into automated systems. If you don't want to do the details and the paperwork, hire somebody that can do those things and bring harmony to your life. Get your sales up so that you can hire that person, that team, whatever. Or have it just be, sales and commissions and whatever that is. But whatever you're dealing with, whether it be your business, whether it be your personal life, families, if families have organization, and divvy out the chores, make sure everyone is organizing together and that it works. If it doesn't, you have stress, you have angst, you have fights. It's not fun. Order is the first principle of heaven. And so today I know that I reflect back onto my childhood with my rich dad and my poor mom. And I look at both of them today. They're both extraordinary people. I love you, Mom. I love you, Dad. I'm so proud of both of you for finding your own truth, finding your own harmony in your life. And they're both thriving and doing well. And as is my entire family. And I'm so grateful for my great-grandfather who set up that, who teaches me, who teaches my son, who teaches all the generations forward that it's important to get involved, to find organizations to work with. Whether you have money to give away or not, you can still volunteer. You can still get involved and build community for yourself and teach that and instill that in your friends and in your family. And so I know today I'm so blessed. You are so blessed. You live in a time that there's so much opportunity, and I'm just happy. I'm so fulfilled to be back doing what I love to do in Los Angeles, knowing today is the greatest day of my life, because today is the only day of my life. It's the only day of your life. So make it count, you guys. Have a wonderful day. Breathe, set your goals for the week, organize, systemize, prioritize, and know that you get to choose your specific expression of what it means to be rich and what it means to be poor. May you live your truth today, love your life, and love yourself. Have a beautiful day. Thanks again for tuning in to Dr. Erin. I'd like to invite you to write a review for this podcast on iTunes. It's important that we like, share, and comment and support the communities that we love. In return, I have a free gift for you, 30 guided meditations, which you can find at drerin.tv. That's www.drerin.tv. Get inspired and learn to use your mind for good via my free app, which includes my daily live show, interviews, power talks, universal law lessons, and more. Also, if you're ready to take a quantum leap in your life, you can join my mastermind, and you can claim your free digital masterclass with the purchase of my international best-selling book, Awakening, a 40-day guide to unleashing your spiritual powers, life purpose, and manifesting your dreams. Thanks again, and may you live your truth.